Yeah, so my name is Jorge Estrada, and I am an independent consultant. I've been in sales my entire career, based out of Boston, Massachusetts. Yeah, so I was working as a person who carries a bag, and people that I had worked with in the past reached out to me because they wanted to work with me again when they had issues regarding going into a new market, whether it was a new geography or a new industry sector. So I decided that I could go ahead and do that on my own, leveraging some of the background that I had in software and some niche areas like intellectual property and marketing. So I do all sorts of things with that. Primarily, like I said, trying to help companies expand their revenue, grow their presence within a particular market. I really like the strategy side of it. I think that when you're in sales, you sort of get used to this process that's relatively canned, and in a lot of ways, it can get very monotonous. So this was my way of sort of using my brain, or a part of my brain that I could leverage to then do the actual selling. My background and the way that I grew up, it was always kind of be a man and you don't need anybody. And I was always very intuitive and realizing what people were going through, if they were having a good day or a bad day. And that sort of made me feel inferior to what my expectation was. But I'm glad that I am the way that I am, because it allowed me to kind of recognize people's strengths and people's weaknesses relatively early on. But then the other side is, one of the areas that I really enjoy is connecting people to one another, because at the end of the day, I think that those relationships really matter, especially in today's world where things can be very automated and not as personal. So I think the biggest piece is being able to see the bigger picture. I think most of the time, whether you're in sales or not, you sort of tend to get this tunnel vision of, I must do these things that are in front of me now or else. And there's always going to be a bigger picture, no matter what stage in the process you are or what you're trying to do. And I think the things that you see in the bigger picture are what make you successful. So you have a lot of people talking about intent data in sales and leveraging those insights to get an edge on competitors. I think those are great things to have, but if you don't know how they connect to one another and are able to tie them to people, then you're probably not going to be successful. So if anything, I think is seeing where you're at and realizing that there is something going on outside of your world, and you should look into it because it's important. It's funny, I think that there's a lot of room for taking some of the mundane tasks that we're used to doing and making them part of a process that just kind of goes along and there's a machine involved. But I do think that no matter where you are in your career, you should start leveraging your power of connecting people to one another and growing relationships, because those relationships will turn into something good for you, whether it's business or not business. And for me, that's been really helpful in connecting to not only future business prospects, but I think also on a personal level, making sure that I understand what that person is all about. And I think it's a snowball effect that I think it's not replaceable by any sort of AI powered tool or whatever you want to have in front of you. My name is Jorge Estrada, and I'm a modern sales pro.